Dumplings and Dildo, Darkness and Dragons. It's out. Let's talk about it. 0 out of 10. No dragon skin for Drogos. Come on. Really? You're really gonna do this to your boy? So the new update is out. We gotta talk about it. I already said that, but I don't really know how to segue into this. No, but for real, we'll talk about it. You just gotta give me a minute to figure out why Paladins is coming up as ransomware and creating a Paladins exe file on my desktop. A false positive for sure, but at this point I wouldn't be surprised if the game held my files on my hard drive for ransom until I coughed up money for crystals. I guess after watching the video where I talk about how skins are losing their value, somebody thought it'd be funny to play a little trick on me. In the end, it was a false positive. I did a Google search. This has been happening for a while, so I don't know. It's still strange how it's happening to me now after all this time. To make things even better, it happened right after I spoke out against Valorant's anti-cheat, where I bring up how it's basically a rootkit. Funny how these coincidences happens. Coincidi. Funny how these things happen, no? So, we got Corvus, the new support champion, we got a map rework, we got a battle pass, we got some balance changes, we don't have a skin for Drogos, my balls are itching. Let's talk about them. As for my first impressions on Corvus, well, he has the Magistrate and the Abyss on his side. When I first saw his legendary that gave anyone marked on his team stat boosts, I thought we were going to have another Genos on our hands, someone that's mandatory for their buffs and only useful for them. I mean, on paper, it does sound like it, and it does sound busted when you're going to pocket characters with high burst that require constant reloading, like Buck for example. But in practice, I don't think that legendary is even the best. I don't even know what it's called. Hold on. Dark Gifts. That's what it was. Now, spreading influence, that's fucking crazy. Drop 2 marks on your burst damaged teammates, spam healing on your tank that buys Rejuvenate 2 on the first round, and you basically won. As long as your teammates that you marked aren't suffering from brain damage and, you know, could actually land a shot. Corvus is very, very team reliant, even more so than the other supports. As it is right now, Corvus is the only one that has pretty shit damage at every range. His gun is accurate, it has a little fall off damage, but 70 damage per bullet, even at medium to close range, isn't going to cut it. When fighting against a squishy with no healer around, regardless if you're purchasing Cauterize, it just feels like you're pissing on your opponent, not filling their body with bullets. The rest of his kit is easy to use, but I think he has a slightly higher skill ceiling than some of the other supports. You could just throw your mark on anyone, keep switching them around, and spam heals everywhere, but there are some really cool techniques that I've learned when playing him that help keep my team alive, but I'm not going to go into those now. I'm gonna save those for the champion review video. As for his appearance and place in the lore, I mean, it's not bad. I'm just happy he's not a furry. Wouldn't surprise me if the next battle pass gave him a furry skin though. Gotta keep the lights on somehow, right? What better way to do it than to exploit the wallets of the most oppressed and least represented group of gamers? It obviously works. Tons of people bought the remix battle pass just for Pepper and paid to unlock her instantly. And these people have never even played Paladins before. Just sprinkle a few furry skins here and there and boom, you got yourself a dedicated fan base that's willing to spend money on whatever else you push out. Truly genius marketing tactic. Hi-Rez may have trouble working on the game itself, but they certainly have no trouble finding new ways to rake in a profit. At this point, they have to appeal to all audiences if they want to make it in this industry anymore, and finding a new audience they did, with even more questionable fetishes, this time targeting the scaly crowd. You know, the furries that aren't attracted to furry animals, but instead they're attracted to animals with scales. Yes, it is a thing, and no, I don't want to talk about it anymore. It's not that they're bad skins, they reach the standard of quality we're used to at this point, but I just don't find any appeal in them. Now, I could think something looks good, but not see the appeal in it. Visually, they're great. I don't care. I can think like that. That is possible. Khan's splash art looks fantastic. He looks like a fucking huge goofball, but the in-game model doesn't match the feeling the splash art's giving off. Strix looks like he smells like shit, got dirty pits, dirty feet, and a dirty playstyle. It's just disgusting. And as for Androxus, wait, that's not Androxus, that's Victor. What happened with the splash art? From the pose to the horns on his head, this to me screams Androxus, not Victor. For fuck's sake, the gun in the artwork doesn't even look bigger than Androxus's gun. Recently, the splash art has been on point and pretty good, but it's like with every patch, there's always this one splash art that just gets me scratching my head. Like the Maeve one in the Egyptian Battle Pass, and Ashe in the Street Style one. I mean, just look at this shit. Why is Skye in the foreground on Ashe's splash art? She takes away all the attention from her. Why are other characters present in the splash arts at all? Just make the splash art for that one character. It just doesn't make any sense. If you want to tease shit, tease it somewhere else. Before moving on to the next one, I just want want to mention that we're still getting new skins that don't match the silhouette of the original character. I know the hitboxes aren't accurate, they're basically tubes around the characters, but is asking for a bit more consistency too much? I know this is just me nitpicking, but come on, when the community saw this, we thought it was Antroxus. We shouldn't be second guessing who the skins are for. Full Moon Victor did something similar with the ears, but they don't stick out as much from his head. This though, this is fucking crazy. Last, we have Furia. This skin at first I didn't really care for, but it grew on me when I managed to boot into the game. I like her weapon, I like her tight shirt. I wish there was more skin revealed, but that's just a personal preference. The hair is okay. I don't know what else to say about it. I prefer long hair on my women. I don't know about you. Her alt skin looks a little bit better. For some reason, she became a feminist and decided to use her own menstrual blood as face paint, which is disgusting, but then again, her name is Furia. She's always furious, so I guess she's just forever in that time of the month anyway. The sword wing thing she has going on back there, the swords look familiar, and I swear I've seen these before. I just can't figure out where I've seen them. As for the rest of the included goodies, what the fuck? As for the rest of the included Jesus Christ. As for the rest of the included keep saying goodies. As for the rest of the included goodies with the battle pass, nothing else really catches my eye. Leon got a new emote, and her laugh changes depending on what skin you use. God damn, is she perfect. I need this. Remember when I said in my previous video that I wouldn't buy any more skins? Well, it's true. I'm not buying the skins here. I'm buying the battle pass for this, and only this. Of course, it's the level, 98 reward? I gotta check, hold on. It's level 94. Just my fucking luck. But I need this. You can call me a hypocrite all you want for me giving more money to Hi-Rez after that last video I made, but the joke's on you. These crystals are from 2018. I already gave them my money, and to be honest, I'd rather get this as soon as possible instead of waiting for it to eventually be added to a shit box where I gamble away my money. I'm coming for you, honey. I just gotta get past all the scaly shit first. The way I see it, it's a fine reward for pushing past that. I'll just pretend each of these skin milestones represent how many bosses I've beaten or some other autistic thing I could come up with to help myself cope. Before moving on to covering the new update, I just wanted to let you guys know that this battle pass was extended from 50 to... God damn, I really should do research before I make this shit. It doesn't even fucking say how many days they extended it by, but I know it used to be like 60 or 70 or something. Now it's like 92, so you got a few months. This means we won't get another for quite some time, but what isn't obvious though is that the battle pass was extended in length. And by length I mean levels. Don't think of it that way, you fucking sick perv. They've extended the battle pass levels from max 80 to 120, but they kept the amount of experience required to level the same. This means more grinding for the things you've already paid for. Now I know I've said before I don't really like battle passes. I never really did. It's unfortunate that they have to keep doing this to make any money, but I do see something positive coming from this. Whoa, me? Seeing a positive in this? What could it be? What could it honestly be? Well, I'm glad you asked. A longer battle pass means that the team gets to work on the next update longer than before. So, you win some, you lose some. This patch's performance wasn't as bad as the last one during the first week, so fingers crossed that they use the extra time for good in the next one. Let's talk about the new map update. I am very conflicted with this. Magistrate's Archive was my favorite map. I loved it the way it was, and as much as I like the higher poly count and the great detail added pretty much everywhere, I just don't like it. It just feels very dark and very gloomy, which I know is the point of the update and where we are in the lore, but I'm just really sick of the purple color scheme personally, because I've been playing Counter-Strike while I wasn't playing Paladins, and for the longest time Counter-Strike had this like purple thing going on with their brand new battle pass. And I just got so sick of it. So the purple doesn't really sit well with me, and the red sky doesn't help either. It looks cool, but I prefer the clear sky of the old one. They took a normal, regular looking castle and they just put spikes all over everything. There's spikes on the door frames, there's spikes on the ceiling, spikes on the candle holders, spikes on the decorative pieces, there's spikes on the fucking chair. How am I supposed to sit down and make it look like Leon's sitting down in the game if the chairs look like this now? I mean, what the fuck? Why does Thunderbrush have to put spikes on everything? I'm getting sick of it. So this is a big negative in my opinion for this patch. I really want the old map back. I'm not gonna go over the balance. No one wants to hear me talk about that shit. So if you're interested in reading about it, a link to the patch notes will be in the description. Overall, I give dingbats and didgeridoos a dragon dildo out of 10. I had to reformat my hard drive a while back. Normally I'd add it to the chart of updates I came up with, but I just can't find the file. I don't feel like watching all the update videos to see where everything was before, and I don't feel like making a new one, and I just don't really want to do that anymore, so I'm not going to do it from now on. And that's it for today. How do you feel about this update? Do you want the old Magistrates archive back? What about the Battle Pass? Are you buying this one? Do you like the skins? Let me know how you feel in the comments section down below. I gotta get back to the grind. That Leon emote ain't unlocking itself, you know. As always, thank you for watching. Keep an eye out for my Corvus review coming soon, and until then, I'll see you next time. Later.